Good morning, folks and fishers, everyone. Well, it's the rain season here in Trinidad, so fishing is kind of hard these days. Plus, we had some really bad weathers, and the storm, Hurricane Beryl, and thing was past. Well, it didn't affect Trinidad much, but this is Thailand and Tobago, and then the rest of the Caribbean. So we really didn't do much fishing. But today, as we home, and we ain't really doing much. So I will show you guys how to tie up and rig up proper setup for when you're fishing on the rocks, the banking rig, the running line, and how we would do the Carolina rig fishing on the beach also. So it's gonna be a couple videos, might be a little bit long, but yeah, hopefully y'all don't forget to like and subscribe and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Let me get into it. We'll show you guys what we're doing. First we'll do the running line on the big rod that I usually set out. These are the gears here that I use. This is my biggest setup, the Slama 10,005. Have he spooled up with 40 pound mono, so does work good, catch nice shark and cavalier and thing on him already. Yes, this is the Battle 3 on the ugly stick, or this is on the hurricane rod. This has 60 pound braid, spooled up with 60 pound braid, and we're using 40 pound mono leader, right? And here we have the Slama high speed 6500, Slama 3 high speed 6500, and we're using 20 pound fire braid from Berkeley's. Now this is some really good line. Haven't seen it selling anywhere since, but works really nice. So yeah, we'll show you guys the setup on which we use on all of the rods. Now each one does set, it might be similar but different size hook and for different games. So yeah, let me get into it, and hopefully you all enjoy this video. So we'll start with the Slama, and well, this is what I usually set for big fish. Now there's different rigs going into the video, so it will be different videos and all. Won't make all in one video. We'll start them with this side. Put the running line on. Right. Camera in on a good focus. Now usually what we do is I'd just take a cut off right here. I'd already pre-checked the line to make sure it was good and whatnot, right? We will. Okay, so we don't have a 3 ounce, but we have, this is a 2 ounce, right? So it's still the same setup, but as this is 40 pound, the 2 ounce would work, except with the size of bait and stuff that I'm using. I would most likely want a 3 ounce to hold the bait down some more. Right, so sinker on, you can move freely back and forth, straight up to the reel if you need it. Take a bead, normal size bead, no fancy bead, but these glow. You could get a pack for like $10–15 according to where you're buying them. And now swivel. So I don't have the size I would usually use, but when recently I had the Slama paired up with some 100 pound braid, and this would be the swivels I'd use. But just for the video and to show you guys and for visibility and all too, I'll use this one. Right now, a lot of people use a bunch of fancy ties and things, but I have recently discovered that one of the best nut to use is the Paloma nut, right? Pretty simple. You make a loop with the line, You loop the line with the end tag again. You don't need much, but just make sure you have enough to work with. Alright, flip it over and you're making a simple slip knot, just making sure the swivel is inside the knot, and then just slip them over the swivel here. Alright, and then take your time and feed them through. Now you could just pull. That's what you're looking for there. Pretty simple, but very, very effective. The Paloma knot. Alright, just making sure you all got a good view. Could leave like a little bit on the end, a 1/16 of an inch or something, a 1/4 of an inch, but you don't need much. Right? Now, this is what we would look like here. You'll have the swivel, your bead to stop the sinker from sticking onto the line, because what usually happens with these circle sinkers, these egg sinkers, while they're on the running line, if they don't have the bead, the hole in the sinker does stick on this nut and sometimes burst it or make it not come out, so the sinker will just stick up right up to the top here. So the bead is just for safety. Right, and now we're moving on to the business end. So this is the lead eye that's used, right? It does work pretty good, strong, unless it does hold nut good, real good nut strength, and very abrasion resistant, right? This is 80 pound. I would use this one on the most of the time the Slama, because of the size of game and the size of bait we're using. Now for me, leader would be anywhere within 3 feet with the hook on it. And same thing again for the tie. You don't need much fancy ties. Same Paloma, you make a loop. Now because this side is just the line going through, you need to make the loop too big, because what happens sometimes is a lot of people get issues where it's time to feed the line through, and when they pull the line to tighten it, it starts to get tool up. So the tool up on you, and it's not sitting straight in the water anymore. The line bouncing around in the water. So there we go. You send the tag and you send the both ends through the little loop you make, same thing like just now. And this is the we're looking for here. Let's give it a pull. This is the knot here. Now when it pull on the next end, it go tighten down some more. So we come. Now this is a very useful tool to have while fishing, a nail clipper. And here we go again. We're using the bead. This bead is actually a traction now. So this end would be the hook. I don't have a big bead, so normally what I do is put on 2 small beads. Right, when I'm fishing on the rocks, most of the time on the rocks, as where we go has a lot of snappers and big game, I'd use a number 10 circle hook. Right, same tie, We'll just use a little more lead on a little more tag in here so you could get to work the hook loop through. The next loop here, making sure this hook stays inside of the double loop, right? Easy now, nothing fancy, just pass the hook through it and you pull them up. Now because I use a bit of tag in here now, what I would usually do is take my time and feed this through. So you just pull it through here, pull the loop down, so that way when you pull the cinch in the knot, it doesn't leave this end tooling up too much. Pull that. And this is the finish here, same thing as the next end. Alright, cut off the tag again. Always good to leave a little bit, because now even though you pull this and cinch it down good, in the action with a fish, the knot would end up cinching down a little more, and if you don't have the tag end, sometimes it slips out, so the tag end is useful for that. Still tighten it down some more, and you notice it has no space there again. Right, so this is the finish here. This is what we would use to set for them big game. This is the running line, as we call it, right? Put the bead to stop, swivel. This is the 8-pound leader. And then we come down to the business end, where we have the hook and the two beads, just to beat up now, right? Now the reason why this setup is effective, now is because of the type of hook. Firstly, the circle hook compared to, alright, this is just, it's not the hook, but see these J hook with the circle hook, if you notice the difference, right? When these coming in on the ground or next to the rocks or corals or debris, the hook, because it's slightly out, would end up hooking on stuff and sticking up more. Now this on the rocks avoids hooking into the rocks and thing while reeling in. So you notice it in hooking onto the skin just so while reeling, so you're safe with that, avoiding much stick up. And this end here now with the swivel and the sinker, most times when you throw out, the sinker does end up stuck behind. Alright, this is the action we want to give here, right? And when now a fish pulls, let me turn the camera, right? So we have the swivel, the sinker, everything here, and this is how it's stuck. So when you now pulling on your line, it's stuck here between the rock, right? But because of the swivel, because of the hook being on the outside and the hook floating around, when a fish pulls it out of the crease, allowing you to reel in the line now and retrieve without losing much. Now it's even more effective when you use a stiff bait like bonito or live bait or grunt and them thing, where the bait wouldn't fall off too easily. This makes it that even if it is stuck, you can leave him there for about an hour and still come back later and pull it out, retrieve the line, right? Now this is for big fish. Size of hook, you'll notice is a pretty big hook, 10-0 circle hook, right? 80-pound shock leader, works very good. So yeah, this is the running line, or the Carolina rig as you would say. Now this is paired onto the Pen Slama 10,500. It's a pretty big reel, not one you would usually hold in your hand, and the rod is a Hurricane. I can't remember the exact name, had this rod so long. but it is actually a heavy action rod. Because, well, with that size of bait, you wouldn't set nothing too small, for you wouldn't use it on a light rod, right? You want to be able to hold on to them 200-pound sharks. Sometimes you hook up some huge shark, catch and release. And even when you're using the whole herons and live mullet, we end up hooking some pretty big tarpon also. So yeah, you use heavy leader, heavy action. But right now, as it is with the line on it, the monofilament line, that is 40-pound monofilament. And I just running that temporarily until I'm able to secure some more braid, as you know braid is very expensive. Well, alright guys, this is it for the first video. Right, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Help us reach 1000k please. Right, and stay tuned for more. We'll show you guys the banking rig and then the Carolina, well, the beach, the surf fishing running line.